All right, Southwest Florida, welcome to another edition of Lead Pitch Live. We're so thrilled that you kept us on your list of things to do, and I think you're going to be delighted as well. We're so happy to have Is Sti Production behind the camera doing a great job, a multimedia company. Today we have an interesting set of guests who will be here. We get a chance to hear Tamika Seaton, the host of Grow Your Nonprofit. We'll also get to talk to Amy Zamot, the Director of Prevention and Community Service at McGregor Clinic. And we'll find out all that's going on at Valerie's house. All that's on Lead Pitch Live. We'll be right back. Southwest Florida, welcome back. So glad to get my good friend here, Amy. Amy, welcome to Lead Pitch Live. Your first time on the show.
I'm excited to be here once more time.
Not once more. You're going to come in the future.
Hi.
Hey, the McGregor Clinic is near and dear to you.
Yes,
before we get into it, what is McGregor Clinic?
So McGregor Clinic is a HIV specialty clinic where we see individuals from all over Southwest Florida. Mm-hmm. And we are actually one of the largest providers in the area. We are seeing people all the way from Sarasota, all the way down through Naples, over to Immokalee, DeSoto. It's huge. The
whole concept of getting your proper vaccination, taking care of your medical needs, the whole concept of that as it relates to the COVID environment, you guys were able to pivot easily into that because you've been around that type of prevention in such a long period of time, would you say?
Absolutely. We were primed for it. In fact, we were kind of ahead of the curve with making sure that we kept not just our patients safe, but our staff safe as well. Mm-hmm. Shifted into providing telehealth services to be able to meet the needs. Actually, it was just before it was officially approved. We were ready to do it, making sure that our prevention department was supportive to the clients by making sure we had food available for them, clothes through the clothes closet. We kind of pivoted in terms of how we provided the services because we didn't want to make them come to two different buildings, be exposed to more people. So we had everything shifted to the main building, making sure that we provided, still keeping track, still caring, but doing it in a way that was safe.
So COVID impacted your outreach and prevention, but along the way you just delivering the services in more creative ways?
Yes and no. So yes, as far as education, we shifted to online education platforms, which actually our demand for that has increased. We also were able to do home test kits. So we provided those to the community whenever they requested them, and we were able to provide them the counseling via phone call if they so chose. But some of the things that kind of hurt us is we didn't get requests for the mobile unit as much. A lot of events that we had planned to take our mobile unit to got canceled. A lot of the major Pride events and a lot of the community things that we had hoped to be a part of, unfortunately the doors were closed because we needed to be safe.
So how are you able to assure testing safety in the mobile unit?
So within the mobile unit, all of our staff uses PPE, so that means masks, that means using our gloves, that means making sure we have an air purifier on board, making sure that we are not only using a face mask, but we also have face shields as well. And we also use a covering to ensure that there's no kind of transfer. Washing hands in between patients, one person at a time. If you remember, our mobile unit has 2 rooms. Well, we actually closed off the one room because it was a little smaller. Mm-hmm. We wanted the larger room where we could safely distance and do what we had to do. And so the mobile unit is actually probably one of the safest places for us to do testing. But it's hard because people, when they see the mobile unit, automatically they're thinking, oh, they provide COVID testing. That's not a service that we provide. So it's been a challenge, but it's really, I believe, a question of educating the community, letting them know we're still out there and so is HIV.
Now, last we spoke, you had one mobile unit. Is that's still the case?
Still the one unit.
That red?
Yep.
That was like a big deal when it first came around.
Huge. Oh, yes. Oh, no. We still have it. We're proud of it. Yes, right. Yes. And like I said, just before COVID, we had really kind of ramped up. We were getting ready to do, 12 events a month, plus all of the in-house stuff that we were doing. COVID kind of put the brakes on that, but that's all right because we're getting ready to shift and pivot because the community needs additional services. So where before we were just doing HIV testing, we're getting ready to shift and provide STI, STD testing, which is huge for us.
That's huge. When you said because of all of these events are not going on as a result of COVID, what that also says to me is that your efforts is meeting people where they are.
Always.
You are going to people. We are going to people. That's still the mentality.
That will always be the mentality. Our whole motto is giving voice to patient choice. So it's always community driven, always patient driven. And so that's the whole reason why we're shifting and we're going to add these services. Because among the services that kind of not went away but lost priority with COVID is STI testing and STI treatment. And so we said, well, it's not something we've ever done. We've never been chartered to do that. And so our executive director made major shifts, has worked out some funding issues and done some shifting there together with the board. And we're getting ready, hopefully by the time this airs, to be able to provide STI testing both on site and via our mobile unit and directly link people to care.
You're throwing around those acronyms like everybody knows what that is. I'm sitting here acting like I know what it is, trying to look intelligent. What is STI testing, please? Sesame Street that for me.
Yes, I will. Sexually transmitted infection.
Okay.
So we're talking specifically gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, and hepatitis C.
Okay. And for some reason, I would have thought that that would be a normal part of what you guys have been doing in the past, but that has not been the case.
Well, it has been for our patients, for the patients of the clinic. But for the community at large, we were not able to provide those services. Instead, we would link people that we felt were at risk to places like the health department, Planned Parenthood, and other such places. This is the first time that we are going to be able to provide, as a one-stop shop, all of these tests. So not only will they come for HIV testing, which is all we did before, they're going to come and get HIV, gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, and hepatitis C testing all at one shot.
And by them being able to get all of that at one shop, does the commingling of that helps the whole overall knowledge of a person's fundamental health status, right?
Absolutely. Sexual health is a huge priority for us. It's at the pinnacle of everything we do in terms of education. Well, the challenge is when you come in to get HIV tested, which has its own stigma, and then you say, well, I kind of feel like since I'm doing this, I want to get these other tests and we can't provide it. It makes a challenge.
Right.
We've had many, many calls, particularly during the height of COVID, where people saying, I was on lockdown, I did some things, I want to get tested for everything. And at the time, I mean, we're good at what we do. We got them in for HIV testing, but then we had to have a second trip where you went somewhere else. We said, no, this is not an efficient way to do it. We like to work in excellence, so we want to provide all the services.
I got you.
And the risks are the same for all of them.
Outstanding. Well, I tell you, what do you guys have coming up in the future? Something with Latino Awareness Day?
Yes. So actually, September 15th through October 15th is Hispanic Awareness Month. And part of that, October 15th, for us in this arena, is National HIV/AIDS Awareness Day for the Latinx community. Used to be called Latino Awareness Day, but in this shift of identifying gender and sexuality and orientation, we've shifted away from that, so it's actually National Latinx HIV Awareness Day. And so we're excited because, again, we can't put together these major events where it's going to bring big crowds, unfortunately, thanks to the Delta variant and all that. However, our doors are going to be open. We will have also home test kits available for individuals. We're going to have information on our website about Latino AIDS Awareness Day. We're constantly working in terms of education to get the word out to people. Our whole purpose is to increase awareness and get people motivated to know their status.
Boy, I tell you, McGregor Clinic is a blessing to our community, and certainly McGregor Clinic is blessed to have you as one of the education and prevention outreach experts, something.
Thank
and
you.
You got your master's degree, right?
I do.
What college you want to shout out for that?
That was Florida Gulf Coast University.
All right, shout out Gulf
Yes.
Coast University. Send me some advertising dollars for that nice shout out. Keep up the good work and we'll stay in touch, okay?
Absolutely.
As the
Thank
saying
you.
goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Amy and all the fine people who are associated with McGregor Clinic who are doing it. Remember, Miami has the oranges, but Fort Myers got the
Juice.
The juice.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.
Hello everybody, this is Lee. I'm so glad that you watched that particular show, and if you enjoyed that show, we got other shows like that. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch Lee Pitts Live on demand anytime, and also hit us up on all our social media platforms. Just type in Lee Pitts Live, and there you go.